I have never experienced anything like this in my life. I really thought that, in the beginning, I think last month, I thought that, this wasn't something that would affect me because it was happening in other parts of the world. And I was like, obviously in England, we have such a good healthcare system and pretty good preventative measures in place. But as soon, as the days started going by and the number of cases started increasing, I obviously became more aware that it wasn't the case and that people were actually being affected a lot quicker than I thought. And my stomach was hurting because I couldn't eat anything because I was so stressed. I was so afraid that, I would get to the airport and the government would change their plans that no flights would be allowed or no international travelers would be allowed into Canada. That was insanely stressful. Even during my flight, I was afraid that we'd have to turn around because the government made some sort of changes. So that was crazy, and I really recommend that if you have the chance to leave where you are and get back to Canada, Hey guys, so I planned to film a very different kind of video earlier today. I actually wanted to film about anatomy and how I take notes in anatomy because we had our dissection this Monday. So because of the situation that's happening in England and because of our university having cancelled all classes that are face-to-face and all seminars that are face-to-face, everything is now going to be done online. Basically, I've had a very, very stressful last couple of hours because I had to decide between whether I was going to go home this week or whether I was going to wait until next week. And I spoke to my mom and decided that it would be best if I went home as soon as possible, just because I'm not sure how things are going to be with the government and whether they're going to close borders internationally or have us move to different airports when we're flying into Canada. I tried to book my flights for the next week, but everything has been waitlisted and tomorrow is the only available flight. So I've had to basically pack everything in my room other than the stuff that's on the table, which is what I'm going to take with me. But I basically had to pack everything else into my suitcases, and there's some stuff that I'm going to be leaving behind, which is my utensils. I will do my best to film throughout my trip, and hopefully I will be filming the last portion of this video in Calgary when I land. And I have my flight tomorrow in the afternoon at 2:40, so I'm going to wake up by 6, take my train from here to London around 7, and then reach by 10, and then hopefully board my flight. So yeah, I wanted to give you guys an idea about how things are here. Hey guys, good morning. So right now it is 6:35 a.m. And I am going to be heading down to my train in about 15 to 20 minutes. I've basically had to pack everything in my room because I'm not sure if I will be coming back or not in June to write exams. For a lot of us international students, it's basically the same situation. None of us really know if we leave whether we're going to be able to come back, which is really frustrating. And the stuff that I've left behind has been all of my food because I can't take that with me, so I've given that to my flatmates. I did manage to make myself a salad this morning, but I don't know if you guys can see that. But I'm not sure if I will eat it anytime soon because I don't really feel the best after how stressful this has been. So yeah, we'll keep you guys posted and let you guys know what is gonna happen. is I had to leave the country, I had to leave England, I had to take a train, and then I had to go to Heathrow, and then from Heathrow it was a 9-hour flight into Calgary. I think that the situation in England is slowly escalating from what I've seen. And the only reason I say that is because a lot of people who I'm friends with who are currently in England are not able to fly back home, especially those people who are in Category 2 countries. So the reason why I left as early as I did was because Canada had plans to close the borders, and I really did not want to get stuck in England and not be able to return back home. Some of my friends who are from Category 2 countries like Italy or Cyprus aren't able to go back because the airports are closed. They also require tests from the NHS proving that you have had the coronavirus test and that you are negative, so a lot of them can't go back. I think it's really important that for those people who are able to travel back, that they do so right away before I think there's issues with the borders closing. Is something that I noticed in Heathrow Airport was that very few people were even practicing proper hygiene, which is very concerning. A lot of people weren't even coughing with their mouths covered. People weren't being polite about sneezing in public. No one was really making an effort to cover their mouths when they were coughing. I think these are really important things that people need to remember when there is obviously a pandemic. I'm not as worried about it affecting me as much, but I'm more worried about being a carrier for the virus and then it affecting people who are immune compromised or older. So right now, even though I'm home and as much as I want to see my friends and as much as I want to spend time with my mom, I can't do that because I want to self-isolate and make sure that it's been 14 days before I see anyone. With regards to our exams, we haven't had any official confirmation that our exams are cancelled or anything, but all clinical practice that we have is being temporarily paused at the moment. For example, our OSCEs, so that's not happening at the moment, but the examinations that are supposed to be online I think are still planned to go ahead, but I don't even know if those will be happening considering how people are basically being told to stay home. So I don't know if we'll have to do them online at home, but yeah, I have no idea and I will keep you guys posted. But that is all that I can say for now. I am really sad because I didn't get a chance to even say bye to any of my friends. I literally left, I finished lectures on Friday at about 5 p.m. I went home, and before that we had gotten the news that all lectures were being moved to online learning. And soon after that, I spoke to my mom. She was put on hold with Air Transat to change my flight bookings for about 2 hours before she was able to get through and change them. And then as soon as that was done, the only flight that was available was last night, and I flew in. And yeah, it was insane, but I'm so happy to be home. Anyone who is out there, I really strongly encourage you guys to fly back to your home countries as soon as possible if you can make it now, because if you wait around, it's just going to get even more difficult to fly back. They have just put out a notice from the Canadian government saying that all Canadians should try and return back to their home cities and in Canada as soon as possible via commercial methods while they're available. So I'm really glad that I was able to hop on the earliest flight possible. I know that the States is planning to change their travel restrictions so previously it was a ban for all travelers from Europe excluding the UK, but I think they will be including the UK soon. I think it's supposed to be starting Monday onwards. So yeah, I would encourage people who are fine and who are obviously not experiencing any symptoms to take precautions while traveling, and of course travel only if it's necessary. So if you're a student traveling back home, it obviously makes sense. So yeah, that's what I want. Hey guys, I just want to show you the view from my room because, wait, it is beautiful.